Hello my friends, welcome to Reddit Rabbit. Before we start, catch the rabbit at the bottom right corner, smash that subscribe button and leave a comment. Today I learned less than a quarter of US workers report using math any more complicated than basic fractions and percentages during the course of their jobs. Blue collar workers generally do more advanced math than their white collar friends. Most of the white collar math has been programmed or pre-calculated, so most of it goes on in the background, right? What percentage of white collar workers use Excel? Understanding the results is just as important as doing the calculation. As a financial analyst, 100% of the people I work with have Excel up all the time. I'm a lawyer, and I have Excel open most days. I wish they would teach it in high school to every student. I'm obviously biased, but I think it's a tremendous tool for a wide range of uses. I actually took a course in Excel in high school, but they just can't do it justice there. I didn't really learn it until I went into finance, when I bought myself a VBA for Dummies or Excel for Dummies book, learned enough to get me to Google, and started using VBA to automate my job. Machinist CNC programmer here. I use trigonometry literally every day. Sometimes when a weird part comes across my desk, I need to break into a little bit of my pre-calc 2 knowledge. Polar coordinates have even come in handy before. Whoa, I never would have guessed. Out of curiosity, what would demand pre-calc or other advanced maths at your job? Complex trig stuff for solving weird angles. The law of cosines has come in handy more than once when inspecting stuff. When you don't have fancy inspection equipment, you need to get creative with what you have in math. Hey there. I teach undergrad math. I'd be super happy to get any real examples you could share to use in a precal or calculus class. The more specific the better. Real examples with real pictures of real things and real numbers perk up the class a lot. I don't have any pictures, but as an example, one time a blueprint called out an angle to 4 decimal places, meaning I had to inspect it to 4 decimal places. We only had a cheap protractor at the time. Using a set of features that happened to be on the part, we measured the location of each feature out to 4 places and then did the math, and sent the math along with the inspection report to prove we inspected the angle. When learning to program a CNC machine using something like Mastercam or SolidWorks, what they don't tell you is that the software can't do everything. I have had to use equations and Excel to plot out a set of points to manually program complex curves. Sometimes you will get the equation of the curve on the print. Higher math lets you have a better understanding of 4th and 5th axis machining, since that is a lot of coordinate systems rotating around axes. That last one's great, thanks. I'll use that. X allows me to understand many other things. I never analyze electrical or mechanical systems by hand, but knowing how to do it by hand gives me insight into how the computerized tools work. Even if you don't use advanced math, learning it is a very good way to train your mind and gives insights into many other things. This exactly. I'm sure most people never use Shakespeare in after school either, but learning Shakespeare helps you be more aware of certain story structures, literary techniques. Learning more advanced math helps you understand a lot of the world better and greatly improves your problem-solving skills. The aim of learning math was never actually about the math. It's about the process of being able to solve a problem using a number of different approaches and ideas and thinking creatively to find a solution. Also being able to determine if the results of a calculation are reasonable, and being able to understand the significance of variances, exceptions, etc. The significance of variance is an important part people are leaving off. People always mention how compound interest is really powerful, and every year earlier you start your retirement plan, the better. Similarly, you also need to understand how interest rates in a retirement account matter. What's the difference between 4% and 5% APR? The answer: this. It's problem solving, not answer finding. I don't need math. I have Excel. Excel is like a much more useful, but much less intuitive calculator. Paint retailer here. Years ago, I had a customer bring in an old formula and asked for a quart to match it. The color was not in our computer, but I had the numbers there, so I translated a 5-gallon formula down to a quart. I handwrote the math out, double checked it, found an error and fixed it, wrote out a new label, and mixed up the conf for her. When I showed her the final result, a perfect match, her daughter, maybe 7 years old, asked excitedly how I did that. I replied with just one word: math. The little girl got wide-eyed and exclaimed, "My teacher said I'd need to know math." I smiled and told her that her teacher was smart and she should listen closely in class. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Learning more advanced math doesn't just teach you math. It's supposed to improve your general numerical literacy and abstract problem solving. It doesn't matter if you don't use it, because you will use those other skills. The white-collar folks must not work in finance or finance-related fields. Excel calculations are the norm, and if you don't understand what you're calculating, you won't be able to spot errors. Bad calcs. Math is still very important in many white-collar jobs. Let's see. Engineering, biology, medical, marketing, supply chain, logistics, advertisement. I can't think of one white-collar job that doesn't use math other than sales. Sales uses plenty of math too. It's just not particularly complicated. I certainly never use anything higher than algebra though. Calculus is badass, but it's complicated enough that they only let computers do it in situations that matter.